My whole life since kindergarten, I have been bullied and treated like crap by people. I bought hubby a new smoker with a cover. He bought me nothing. He conveniently forgot my birthday, but bought new video games and a golf cart, yet he doesn't think about me. Why do I keep doing this to myself? He has cheated on me over and over again. He took me to his Christmas party, then suggested we sit across from another woman. He stared across at this woman all night and ignored me. This is a message that I received from a woman who is really hurting. And in this video, I'm going to break this message down, explain why she keeps doing this to herself, and give some solid advice on what to do. Thank you so much for being here. I am Iris Siriani. I am a self-love coach, and I specialize in helping people who use drugs and alcohol to cope with their life. I help them to transform their past and realign themselves with a life that has more ease and flow and more enjoyment and more fulfillment. My heart broke for this woman when I read this message because I have felt the pain of what she's feeling. Have you ever been in a relationship where you feel ignored, invalidated, unappreciated, unseen, and neglected? There's so many of us that have either experienced that or we are experiencing it. And it doesn't just happen in our romantic relationships, it can even happen in our own family unit. But here's what's going on. So she said that she has been bullied since she was in kindergarten. Bullying, regardless of its form, is abuse. It carries deep emotional scarring. And she writes that since kindergarten, she was just young, she has been treated like crap by other people. One thing I find interesting is how intellectually we know we deserve better. We know we deserve to be treated better, but we find it very difficult to leave situations that we know are unhealthy for us. I can feel her anxiety, fear, and panic rise up from the depths of my own inner abyss at the thought of leaving a situation that I myself was deeply unhappy in. It's the worst feeling, and it invokes so much fear about leaving that situation. And this is why. So intellectually, you can say, I deserve better. And you sincerely do deserve better. And I want you to have better. Yet somewhere deep within you, there is a part of you that has never experienced what it feels like to be treated well. And so mistreatment becomes the thread of energy that vibrates through you, even though it causes so much pain and unhappiness. So there is imbalance between what in your mind you know you deserve better and you do, versus the energy that you're vibrating out there. And because we live in a world that is energetic in its nature and is always reflecting back to us what we are vibrating out within us, we continue to attract the very thing that we don't want to have in our lives. So in our minds, we know we want better. In our minds, we know we deserve better, but we need to transform the vibration, the energy within us, that thread that keeps giving us more of what we don't want, which is the mistreatment, right? We need to heal that thread of energy. Another example of this that I know a lot of people really are working on, and that is when we are living paycheck to paycheck. We're robbing Peter to pay Paul. There is never enough money. And then one day you win a big lottery that is really life transforming. And so many people have never experienced that amount of money and that amount of wealth. So they really don't have an experience of how to manage that kind of money. And because our thread of energy is wired to lack, not enough money, robbing Peter to pay Paul, living paycheck to paycheck, those are all lack vibrations and energies that run through us. A lot of people who win big lotteries, they end up spending all of their money and then they go back to living paycheck to paycheck, but they're really depressed because they had it all, but they lost it all. And so when we are not working on our inner selves to transform and heal the vibration, that the thread of vibration that runs through us so that we can attract something different or think that we deserve better or deserve more abundance, and you absolutely do, but that's why we keep on attracting the same thing, is because it's an inside job. We have to transform our vibration from the inside out in order to get something reflected back to us. So we need to start working on transforming and healing the beliefs, because it is a deep rooted belief that we have about ourselves and our potential, so that we become in harmony or resonance with the reciprocal kind of love that you are deeply desiring, or the financial abundance that you are also wanting to have in your life. So let's get back to having the experience of abuse. Bullying is abuse. And I've said it so many times in my videos, it strips away your sense of self, your sense of self-worth, and along with it, your sense of value. And when you have tuned yourself to feeling unworthy, you lose your sense of value, which means you suffer because you are then at the mercy of how other people see your value. And here's the really interesting thing, is that when people are mistreating us or abusing us in some way, they also feel insecure, unworthy, unvaluable, unlovable at some deep level, even though they might not have any awareness of it. And because our outer reality is always a reflection of our inner world and what we believe about ourselves, they project how they're feeling on you. But that is not you at all. And so the thing is that you are focusing on the wrong problem. When you focus all of your attention on fixing or manipulating your external world and wanting to change somebody else so that you feel better, you are going about it the wrong way. You are deserving of all of the love that you so deeply desire. But wanting somebody else to change so that you feel better is not the correct way to go about it. There's a better way. And so, for example, this is a really good analogy. If you look blankly into a mirror, you're not smiling, you're just staring into a mirror, you are going to see a reflection of you staring into the mirror with no smile, no expression. You can't literally reach out and manipulate the mirror to make it smile back at you. You have to smile in order to see that reflection back at you. So the same is true for you. If you want to change your relationship or any situation in your life, you cannot manipulate the external environment so that you feel better. You have to change yourself. You have to work on your beliefs. You have to work on how you feel about yourself and your whole self-image. And that then is reflected back to you. So this is why we continue to do and attract the same things over and over and over again. So for this woman, you put yourself through this because you're wanting him to change, when in fact he doesn't have to change. People change because they want to change. You have to want to change yourself. And yes, sometimes by you working on yourself and you learning to love yourself and pouring all that love and attention into yourself will cause you to fall out of resonance, out of vibration, out of alignment with the person that you're with. And that is a whole nother mash pot of feelings of fear that are going to start to bubble up to the surface. And it's completely natural, but it's like tuning yourself to a radio station. If you're listening to country and you really dislike country music and you're wanting to tune into a rock station, you actually have to turn the dial in order to get to the right frequency to be able to hear that rock station. And so the same is true for you. So when you start to do that inner work on yourself, you're basically changing the dial on your frequency, which causes you to want to not be, you're not, it's not that person is bad, it's that you fall out of alignment, you fall out of resonance with that person. And that happens, and it is completely normal and natural for you to feel fear around that. But let's just dial it back a little bit and let's get back to focusing on yourself. So if this is you, my heart is with you. It is not an easy process to focus on yourself, to be good to yourself, to learn how to love yourself. But it is absolutely vital if you want to experience the love and the joy and the happiness and to be treated well. It really is an inside job, and it is not being selfish. You are not here to change anybody else. Everybody here is on their own journey, their own path to self-discovery. So buying gifts or doting over them or overgiving of your time and your money and even your presence, that is not going to make them love you more. It is not going to change them. You can't love them more. You can't love their pain away. You have to love your own pain away, right? And by doing all of these things, you are just leaving the door open for more mistreatment by other people and being taken advantage of. So spend time to discover who you are so that you see your own worth and your own value. Start to focus your attention away from them and focus your attention on you, and start to make yourself happy and start to do things that bring you joy. Because as you may have noticed, the more you focus on what they're doing or what they're not doing and how you need them to be different, the more that you focus on that, have you noticed the more unhappy you become? And so that is all that's doing, is just giving you back more of the same unhappiness. Do you kind of get a sense of how energy and vibration works? We attract what we vibrate. And because we are getting into that place of being so unhappy with how they are treating us or what they're not doing or how they're not considering us and how we feel neglected, that has an energy that vibrates out there. And that vibration, that energy is what is being reflected back on you. But I guarantee you, when you make time for yourself, when you start to take care of yourself, when you start that journey of self-discovery of who am I? What do I like? What makes me feel good? And getting to really know yourself, you are learning so much about who you are, there is so much more of who you are that is just dying to come to the surface. You need to make yourself the most important person that you are in a relationship with. Everything starts with you. And the majority of the people, they have no idea who they are. They think they are somebody's husband, somebody's wife, the boss, the employee, the doormat, what they do for work, right? That's not who you are. And when you don't have a sense of who you are, you rely on other people to project who they are onto you. Again, remember, it's all about energy. So turn your attention away from them and what they're doing and what they're not doing and how they're treating you, and start to treat yourself the way that you would like to be treated. So to help you get started with this, I made a video that will appear somewhere up here in a second. And I've also left a link to that video in the description box below. It's called 3 Tips to Help You Start Building a Healthy Relationship with Yourself. I hope that you found this video helpful. I hope that it brings you hope and encouragement. You are so worthy of being treated well, and you can do this. You can transform all of the beliefs that you have about yourself. We're all working on being the best versions of ourselves, and if you're feeling that discontentment in your life, start to focus inward on yourself and start to love yourself. So I hope this video has been helpful and is showering you, and I want to shower you with so much love. If you feel so inspired to do so, please like this video, comment, subscribe, share it with anybody that you feel may benefit from this message. And lastly, I've created a self-love quiz. If you are at all interested in finding out where you are on your own self-love healing journey, I've left a link also in the description box below. And until I see you again, love yourself first, and the universe will take care of the rest.